When I first started going to Speedway, Rick Woods, the Rocket, he was the star of the Speedway at Costa Mesa. He was so good, and he would win just about every race. And I still have a memory, the image of Rick Woods just riding that pole, riding fast. He was riding perfect, smooth as glass. He was just smooth, he was good, and he was just an awesome guy. Rick Woods was ripping it up, and then came along the Bass brothers, Mike and Steve Bass. They were terrorizing Costa Mesa also. They had won like 8 out of 10 Speedway championships in the 70s. Rick Woods won the other 2. So those 3 guys completely dominated that era of Speedway. But Rick Woods was really one of the best. And then Mike came along. Mike Bass. They call him the Machine. The Machine. He was just amazing. He won so much at Costa Mesa. Every Friday night, the winner of the main event would be Mike Bass. He would win just about every scratch main event at Costa Mesa, and he was just tearing it up. He won a lot of handicaps main events. Mike Bass was the Machine. And then if you didn't have enough of Mike Bass, you had his brother. That's Steve Bass. Steve Bass was just crazy good. He was intense. Steve Bass, when he got on that bike, he was like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to win this race. He was just really intense. And I was like, this guy really is into the racing, right? And he was so good. And he won a championship in the 70s. And his brother Mike dominated the 70s. And it was just really exciting to watch these guys race. They were so talented. And Mike was a stuntman. And he was did many movies. Just such talented people. One year, Steve wore this baby blue uniform when he was a national champion. And it was white with blue on it, baby blue. And he looked so good. And I told his son, Steve, your dad, he made baby blue look good. Most of us young guys, we can recall jumping over the wall, the crash wall during the intermission when they would drag that track at Costa Mesa, and we'd go get those tear-offs so we could put them over our faces. We could sit in the front row, and they had lots of deep DG dirt on the outside. No more, but before they had lots of dirt. It was cheaper back then, I guess. And Speedway was generating a lot of money. And us kids would sit on the front row and just get blasted with the dirt. These guys would ride these 22-inch tires. They would ride the outside like Danny Becker and others. You know, they would just ride that wall, do crazy wheelies and gas it. And that mud would just come and fly on our face mask. It wouldn't get in our eyes. And it was just so much fun. The kids, all the kids, including me, we enjoyed getting those tear-offs, and we sat and we just enjoyed getting punished with that dirt in the face. It's kind of hard to believe it, but we got addicted to the smell of the castor oil, the smell of that oil on the Speedway bikes. They sometimes ran nitro and alcohol also, but the smell of that castor oil just filled the air like a perfume. And we all know that when we got addicted to that smell, that we were probably going to be motorcycle riders one day. One time when I was a little kid, I went up to Mike Conley, number 89, big Mike Conley. He was big, he was tall, he was like 6'4". He was huge. He missed winning a United States Speedway championship by that much. But he was a nice guy. He was a gentle giant. He was a gentle soul. And I enjoyed Mike Conley so much. And he was just a nice guy. He would sit in his chair after every Speedway race, and he would sign those autographs for the kids. And he was just a nice person. Number 89, big Mike Conley. Speedway was so much fun back in the day. You know, just as a little kid, you just feel the electricity in the air. And then Costa Mesa Speedway was so close to the beach. You'd bring in all those surfer girls, all those guys who would come in. They'd follow the girls and they'd be drinking, and there would be sexy girls everywhere. I was a little bit too young to kind of get into the girls. I was into the Speedway. But the guys were just hooting and hollering for the girls. Ow! Hey, babe, over here. And I'm like, hey, babe, what are you talking about? You know, a little kid. But anyways, the girls were beautiful. And they dressed up really sexy, and they walked down those aisles around near the crash wall, and the guys would be screaming and the girls would be blushing. Everybody would be hooting and hollering. It was so much fun. And what do young teenage boys like to do? They like to drink beer. And they drank a lot of beer at Costa Mesa. And there was always action going on. There was a fight over here. And then there was a fight over here. There's a fight over here. There was fights during the intermission. People were drunk and it was rowdy and people were screaming. And there was just so much going on. And I was like, oh, I don't think I want to be a part of that. And then there was the character, Gene, the dancing machine. Gene would go there every Friday night and he'd be drinking beer. He'd be walking on that crash wall. Walk, walk, walk. And he would be yelling to the crowd, more beer! With his mustache, big biker looking dude. He was so cool and everyone was cheering, and he would go in the stands and he would stand up and with a beer in his hand and more beer! More beer. And it was fun. Everyone was laughing. He'd walk on that crash wall drunk. One time he slipped, he was drunk, and he hit his crotch in the wall. Oh, those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We used to sing and dance and have a lot of fun at the Speedway races. As a child, we didn't know any better. We didn't know that one day that we'd be a rider, we'd be a part of this whole mess. And it was really fun. And you know, it's one of the funnest parts of my life. And one of the best things that ever happened to me was going to that first Speedway race with Mike DeMont and his sister who didn't really want me. And look what happened. You know, it just created a lifetime of memories. The Speedway is so exciting, so fun, still is today. And we sure miss the old days of Speedway, but they were glorious. And I know that you perhaps experienced that yourself, whether it's in England or in America or Australia. And Speedway is so exciting for a child. So if you have a child or if you know a neighbor, take him to Speedway. Maybe he'll get addicted and become one of us junkies. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today with the memories of Speedway at Costa Mesa in California. The bull ring, the Costa Mesa Speedway was electrifying. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please subscribe, like this show. It's exciting. Speedway is exciting. And we appreciate you. And we're going to see you, we're going to see you next time.